I mean, like First Lady Betty Ford for an entire day. Betty never anticipated being First Lady. Married to Gerald Ford, who went from House Minority Leader to President within a year. Kind of be like if Steve Scalise were president a year from now. If you don't know who that is, I think that gives good context for how unexpected it was. Breakfast for Betty was instant coffee, instant oatmeal, and a bit of fruit. Instant oatmeal was still a little novel at the time, but not really. I'm not willing to forgive terrible instant coffee when you do have choices. Lunchtime, and sometimes earlier in the day, is when Betty would start drinking. Vodka and tonic was her go-to, and she'd have 2 to 3 each day, mixing it with various opioids and benzos and other prescriptions. I did not do that part, obviously, but I did drink a vodka tonic alongside leftover lobster foo young. Lunch was often leftovers for them, and American Chinese was a favorite. For an afternoon snack, it's a vodka tonic, and I'm starting to feel it. Betty had an intervention post-White House years and gave what I consider to be a truly brave interview on her struggles with addiction, especially from someone in that generation and of that status. Courageous. In fact, she helped found the Betty Ford Center, a nonprofit treatment center for those struggling with substance abuse. There's no real way to segue from generous philanthropy that saves lives to baked tuna, so that's just gonna have to do. Dinner is lightly creamed spinach alongside a middle-class staple in some regions, tuna noodle casserole. I don't know why this gets a bad rap from anyone, anywhere. It is a buttery hug, which is exactly what I wanted after finishing one last vodka tonic for the sake of art and science. So, how do I feel after eating like Betty Ford for an entire day? Well, the leftovers in the White House is cool. That's my favorite part of this whole day, is the fact that she was doing leftovers. Tuna in a casserole is good. I made it with like a roux instead of, dumping condensed soup in there. But really, the story of the day is the reason why I don't feel like I'm sitting in this chair the right way. It doesn't feel natural. Do I feel like the First Lady of the United States? Not really. I feel like the First Lady of Altoona, Pennsylvania.